What is up, everyone? Welcome to a new pickup video. This one's going to be a long one, so grab a snack, and we're going to start off with the systems first because there's a lot of them here. The boxes are really big, and I don't have enough room to film all of them sitting down like I normally do, so we're going to go through all those first. We have a few handhelds. We have a yellow Game Boy Pocket. Very awesome. And then we also have this Super Nintendo Edition new Nintendo 3DS XL. I believe we got this at PRGE. And then also we have the Super Mario Maker 2DS. Yeah. This one was from GameStop on Black Friday. We helped Josh buy a Nintendo Switch, and there was a $50 gift card that came with it, so we were able to use that towards this, and we got this for like 30 bucks basically. Next, we have the black Sega Sports Dreamcast. This is not fully complete. It only has one of the two molded cardboard inserts. It's also missing like the baggies, the paperwork, and both copies of the game. However, we do have them at the store. I have yet to just grab one. We have like 10 copies of each. But it does have the system and the matching controller and all that. The system was traded into the store, but the box we got from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo for like $15. So, very awesome. Then we have the Spice Orange GameCube box. This is the Japanese version, but we do have this system. We got it traded into the store, and then I had it modded, region modded, for Abby, and then Teles, who is the guy who traded it in, came back and brought the box later on, and we got that as well. There's no paperwork or baggies, but it does have the cardboard insert, so I'll consider that pretty close to complete. Then we have a Super Nintendo bundle here, which is a very weird variant. So it just looks like the basic Super set with 2 controllers and Mario, but we already have one of these, but the other one actually says Super Set, and it says it right here as well. So this is just a weird box variant. I'm not going after every single tiny variant like this, but just because I already have this one and we noticed that it was different, I'm going to hold on to it. Then we have a Model 1 Genesis. This is a Sonic 1 bundle here. Pretty standard. The only other Genesis systems that we had in the collection already were Model 2s. So that's our first boxed Model 1. This one here is just an empty box, but this was given to me at the store for free. This is the Super Mario Maker Wii U bundle box. It's got all the inserts and paperwork and all that, but it's, of course, doesn't have the system or the amiibo there, but eventually I'll be able to complete that, and this is not a set that we had already, so that's pretty cool. Then this one here is a really nice condition upgrade. This is the original NES control deck, and the one that we had previously was very, very sun-faded on the front, and this one's in pretty nice shape. So this was just a condition upgrade. The other one went to the store, and it is currently there for sale. And the last system is the Watermelon Nintendo 64, and we got this from Retro Game Trader in Beaverton, Oregon, the day before PRGE, or 2 days before, when I went game hunting with my friend Sam. We filmed all that, so if you want to see it, you can check out the video, but they had this marked for $179, which is a very, very good deal. It's got a bit of water damage on this side. It's kind of hard to tell, but it is a little like wrinkled and stuff. It does have water damage, but it doesn't look that bad at all. So I was very happy to add this one to the collection, and it has everything except for the system baggie, but it has all the other baggies and everything in there. So very, very awesome. Now let's get on to the rest of the stuff. So let's jump into the rest of the stuff here, guys. I'm going to start off by just showing a couple of these. I've been adding Nintendo Power magazines to the collection over the course of the last few months. People have been trading them into the store. I've also found some at the Goodwill outlet. So these are just a couple here that are, going into the collection. I've probably added 30 or 40 of them, so I'm not going to show you every single one. I just wanted to let you guys know that I am still going after that set. And then I have some other like figures and stuff here that I'm going to show next before we get into the games. So first up from PRGE, we picked up the Ocarina of Time Link and Ganon figures. We already had this one, but it was such a good deal we couldn't pass it up, and I'm hoping to be able to trade this for a different one at some point, but the Ganon one we did not have, and I think it was 35 or 40 bucks for both of them, so that was super awesome. And then, just recently, someone traded this into the store. It's a Super Mario Brothers like plastic bowl here from 1989. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have this Street Fighter figure. Pretty cool, it's got a little base there. And then also a Resident Evil figure, which will look awesome on my shelf next to my Nemesis figure. Also a little Sonic the Hedgehog figure. He's like an old school looking Sonic, so I decided to hold on to that. It's Jazzwares as a company. Then we have the Nintendo Switch AC adapter. This is one of the ones that we carry at the store, but Abby forgot hers one day and used some of her store credit to buy this one, so technically it's part of the collection now. Also traded into the store was a brand new NES Classic controller, the official Nintendo brand one, so decided to hold on to that. Then this is probably the only eBay purchase, or at least one of the only eBay purchases for this whole video. This is a lenticular Nintendo 64 watch, and you can see when you shift it there, you get either Mario's face or the N64 logo. It came in this little padded thing with the paperwork, the original paperwork, so that's pretty cool. It was like 13 bucks shipped, and it was a newly listed item that I just happened to see, and I was like, that's really cool. I need that for my collection, so I grabbed it. Also, we have the Crash Bandicoot Fig Pin, and I was talking about these on one of the videos, and then someone came into the store and gave it to me. So, special thank you to Josh, if you're watching. Not the Josh that works at the store, but different Josh. Then, also from Retro Game Trader, I got the silver PS2 iToy camera. This is still sealed. It was half off of $9, so can't really complain. And then, this was also a trade-in at the store. This is the Super Retro Advance Adapter, and this is basically something that plugs into your Super Nintendo and allows you to play Game Boy Advance games, which is super cool. It's also got the AV cable here. I didn't know when they traded it in that this was pretty sought after, and they're like sold out everywhere. So I was just gonna keep it because I don't like playing handheld stuff. I'd rather play on the TV. That's why I wanted it. And then when I realized it was so hard to find, I was like, well, I better keep it because I'm not gonna find another one. A few other random things here. We have a Wild Arms 3 PS2 demo disc in the sleeve. And then some factory sealed demos here. We have the NBA Street Volume 3 for PS2. And then, I guess these aren't demos, but music samplers for Dance Dance Revolution. These are both sealed as well. Those were also given to me at the store. Then, I'm not really sure what these are, but these are like, well, I know what they are, but I'm not sure what they're from. These are Scratch and Sniff Game Boy Advance stickers for some of the NES Classic Series games. And I scratched and sniffed them at the store and made Josh do the same, and they all smell horrible. Donkey Kong is supposed to smell like fruit or something, and it just smells like rotten, disgusting garbage. They all smell disgusting. I'm not sure exactly what they're from. If you guys know, let me know. Maybe like they came in like a Nintendo Power or something, but I just thought those were kind of cool. Then I posted a picture of these on Instagram, but I have two of these Pokemon Crazy Straw things, Mewtwo and Pikachu. I couldn't find any info on these when I was trying to look them up on eBay. There were none posted, none sold. They're official. They're marked copyright 1999 Nintendo, but I just thought those were kind of cool. And then also from 1980 we have a metal Pac-Man lunchbox. It's not in the best shape, it's missing the handle on the top, no thermos, but still very, very cool. That was also traded into the store. So I think that's it for like the, well, there's a few more. I guess we'll go with these. A couple more accessories. We have the N64 travel case. Like, I think it's pretty much new in the original box. The box is obviously, you know, the item is exposed in the top of the box. It's not completely encased, but I thought that was very, very cool. That was traded into the store. Got to keep that for the 64 collection. And then also, along with that, was the Arcade Shark arcade control stick for the N64, complete in box. I normally don't collect third-party stuff, especially like accessories and everything, because there's way too many third-party controllers to go after, but Nintendo didn't release their own official arcade stick for the N64, so if you want one, this is your best bet, and might as well keep it when I find it in the box like that. So, super awesome. So, aside from a few really rare accessories, that's going to be it for all those, and we're going to jump into the games now. So, I will start off with DS and 3DS, because I have a very small amount of each. Every single DS game here is factory sealed except for the first one, and that is the Metroid Prime Hunters First Hunt. I believe this is like the demo disc version. It comes in the little cardboard sleeve. It's got the manual and the cartridge in there. This, I believe, came with a system, which I don't have, but I didn't have this little cardboard version, so I just decided to keep it. It's not worth too much, so didn't feel bad taking it from the store. And then 3 of these DS games, which I'll show now, came from Square Enix's web store. Around Black Friday, they were having a sale, and these were all super, super cheap. We have Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo Tales. Like I said, these are all sealed. And then Space Bust-A-Move. I love the Bust-A-Move games. And actually, I was mistaken. This third one didn't come from Square. This one was a trade-in at the store. It's Professor Layton and the Unwound Future. This is a factory-sealed copy. I think I actually already have one of these in the collection, so I'm going to double-check and keep the better one. And then these last 2 were also traded into the store. We have a sealed copy of Squishy Tank. Very cheap title. And then also Drawn to Life: The Next Chapter. And then on to 3DS games, and my cat Zelda's right here, meowing at me. So this first one came from Square as well. It's Bust-A-Move Universe. And then the other 3, I believe, or these first 2, I believe, were traded into the store. We have Little Battlers Experience, factory sealed, and Codename Steam, factory sealed. And the last one came from Fred Meyer. It was on sale, and then I went with Josh, who has an employee discount through a family member, and so this was a little cheaper, but it was on sale for like $5 to begin with, so for like $4 or something, we got Centipede Infestation sealed for the 3DS. And then, so those are all the 3DS and DS games, but I also have a few Japanese titles here, which are kind of just random that we got from the Pink Gorilla booth at PRGE, so I'm going to go through these. I don't know what they're called, but a couple Game Boy Color games here, complete in box. And then Super Real Baseball 88, I believe that was Famicom. Same with this one, another baseball game. And I'm not really trying to collect like every Famicom game or anything like that, but if it's like a Japanese exclusive and I just happen to come across it, I'll add it to the collection. Like those, they were dirt cheap. They were doing like a fill a bag for $10, and so they probably, I mean, they didn't cost anything basically. So let's switch it up a little bit. Let's do a couple Wii games here. I only have 2 to show. First one is Calling, and then also the Data East Arcade Classics. So I really have not been looking at Wii games much. I've just been letting the store take pretty much every single one that comes in. But these 2 are not easy to find, and they came in with a bunch of other really good titles. So I just, had to be really picky, and I picked the 2 that I'd most like to have in the collection. We also have one PSP game, which also came from the store, and that is the Shin Megami Tensei Persona Soundtrack Edition, or Soundtrack Bundle Edition, whatever you want to call it. Comes in a big box with the double disc soundtrack, of course. Very, very awesome. And then I have one Wii U game which also came into the store. That's a factory sealed copy of Xenoblade Chronicles X, the standard release edition. I believe we already have the limited edition sealed and opened, and I think we have this standard one open. I'm not sure, but we didn't have a sealed copy, so gotta add that to the collection. Then we have 3 original Xbox games, which I believe were all traded into the store. The first one is Dreamfall Longest Journey. Nothing super special, just a couple titles I didn't have. And then Murakumo Renegade Mech Pursuit. Also a fairly cheap game. It's just one I've never heard of, so I decided to hold on to it. Then the third one here is pretty cool. It's a cheap game. I'm not sure if this version of it is worth much more, but it is Star Wars Battlefront, but it is signed by a bunch of the developers. If that'll focus, you can see some of their signatures on the front there, and there's also a couple more on the spine. And it also comes with this paper inside that says it was basically a blockbuster Star Wars Battlefront sweepstakes, and this was the 3rd place prize. So they won a Star Wars Battlefront game signed by the game developers, and this was traded into the store by the original owner. He won this from Blockbuster back when he was a little kid and traded it into the store. I thought that was pretty cool. So, next up, let's get to some obscure stuff. I have one Virtual Boy game. I bought this from my buddy Josh Hamblin. This is the first time I've ever bought anything from him, from his group. I've talked about it before on the vlog. He runs a Facebook group where he sells a bunch of video game stuff, and I'm a part of the group, but I've never purchased anything until now. And I got Virtual League Baseball complete in box for the Virtual Boy. It was like $15 shipped, which, you know, it's not bad. And the only Virtual Boy game that I have currently is the Mario Tennis that comes with the system, and there's not that many games in the set, so I might as well start grabbing them when I see them. So, grabbed that one. And then these 3 came into the store. We have Checkered Flag for the Atari Lynx, complete in box. My friend Luke found this at the Goodwill outlet and then traded it in. It has some water damage towards the back here. It was actually wet when he brought it in, so it was recent water damage, unfortunately. Happened at Goodwill. It's dry now, of course, but pretty cool. It's the first Lynx game in the collection. And then we have this Atari Jaguar CD game called VidGrid, which I thought this was like some sort of weird CD compilation thing that just happened to be Jaguar branded, but it's an actual Jaguar CD game where you unscramble music videos or something. You try to guess what they are. So, first Jaguar CD game in the collection, and then also a regular Jaguar game here is, I'm gonna butcher it, Val D'Ezre, skiing and snowboarding. Complete in box, of course. That was traded into the store. I thought that was pretty cool. Then, let's move on to some Genesis games here. So, first up, we have just straight up Spider-Man, and also X-Mutants. And then, Wiz and Liz, which is a game I had never heard of until this came into the store, and I thought that the cover art is just so cool. So I wanted to hold on to that one. And then the last one, which is super awesome, is Complete Shining Force 2 in the cardboard box here. Inner tray box is a little beat up, as you can see, but I did not have this one, so I was very happy to be able to add that one to the collection. And of course, the next copy that comes in, I already have one, so I don't have to worry about keeping it. And that's why I'm keeping certain titles that I am, because I don't have them in my collection yet, and once I have it, then 50 more copies could come into the store, and they're all going to be up for sale because I already have one. So I'm trying to get some of these games out of the way as I can. A good example is Tecmo's Deception. We've had 2 copies come into the store so far, and before we opened the store, I'd never seen a copy anywhere. So I kept the first one, then we got a second one that came in, and I just sold it earlier today. So it's pretty cool. Let's move on to Nintendo Switch. Only have 4 titles here. First we have LA Noire, which is still sealed. This was a pickup from GameStop on Black Friday. It was on sale for like $9.99, so why not? Then the other 3 here came from NAS America's website. We have the SNK 40th Anniversary Collection Limited Edition. Comes in the big box, of course. Then also God Wars The Complete Legend Limited Edition. And then the last one is The Lost Child Limited Edition. I was trying to stay up to date with the NAS America limited editions as they came out, but they're just releasing way too many, and I've already missed quite a few at this point because I've stopped pre-ordering them, but I'm glad to have what I have. Let's move on to some Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance. So these are going to be in no particular order, and a lot of these actually are box only or box and manual only. So these first 2 actually are complete, and they were traded in at the store. Nothing special. We have Mary-Kate and Ashley, Girls Night Out. Looks like the box might be a little sun faded, but I'm not sure. And then Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Like I said, nothing special. Then we have Top Gear Pocket 2 for the Game Boy Color. This one is box and manual only. We have Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge. This one is box only, and I picked this one up at PRGE. I think it was 15 bucks or so for the box. Then we have Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX 2. This one is box and manual only as well. Then we have classic NES series Donkey Kong in very nice shape. This one is box and manual only. The next handful of these are going to be box and manual only. I'm going to go kind of quick. We have Sword of Mana, Mega Man 0, Iridian 2, Mario Kart Super Circuit, Spider-Man, Yoshi's Island, Mario Advance 3, Mario Golf Advance Tour. I'm pretty sure that this is just a condition upgrade for me. And then Golden Sun, The Lost Age. And a lot of these came from Sean's collection, which, if you guys have been following the vlogs, I purchased my buddy Sean's collection like a week ago now, and a lot of those were part of that. And then I believe these two were traded into the store, and they're complete copies of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Seasons. And I believe that I think I already had this one, so this is going to be a condition upgrade. The other one's going to go to the store. This box is pretty rough, but I didn't have it, so those are like two of the last Zelda games I needed. And then box only, we have Warlocked for the Game Boy Color, and also 1942. Then also Golden Sun, box and manual. Then we have Driver for Game Boy Color. This one is complete minus the cardboard insert, which I have extras, so I'll be able to complete that one. Then we have Bases Loaded, Pocahontas, Wheel of Fortune, Tiny Toon Adventures 2, and finally Monopoly. So, let's move on to PS1. I'll start off with the long box games. There's a little handful here. And for PS1 stuff, I'm being really, really picky as well, so most of these are going to be like higher end titles. So we have long box, Mortal Kombat 3, Street Fighter Alpha, Warrior's Dreams, Philosoma, I think is how it's pronounced, Power Serve 3D Tennis, and Alien Trilogy. Pretty awesome long box games there. I don't know how many are in the set, but I think I have probably 20 to 30 now. And then moving on to regular edition PS1 games. This first one I found at the Goodwill outlet. That is Bubble Bobble, also featuring Rainbow Islands. Pretty cool. Then we have some really, really good ones. Clock Tower 2. Just added Clock Tower 1 to the collection, I believe in the last pickup video. So Clock Tower 2 now as well. Then The Adventures of Lomax. There's some awesome stuff in here. Cowdelka. Got very lucky and had probably 3 or 4 people trade in like some really, really good PS1 games. So I was able to keep a couple out of each little lot and ended up adding some awesome titles to the collection. We have Kagero Deception 2. And then Deception 3, Dark Delusion. I think we added Deception 1 to the collection in the last video, which I already talked about that. Then we have the Tomb Raider Collector's Edition, which has the first 3 games in there. This one came from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. That's a complete copy of Elemental Gearbolt. And I think this was priced at like 60 bucks, which is a really, really good price. This is probably the cheapest one here. This is Assault Retribution. It's in a replacement CD case, but it is fully complete. This is just like a... It's not super expensive. It's not super cheap. This is just like an uncommon title that I'd never heard of, so I decided to hold on to it. Then we have Bushido Blade 2, Capcom vs. SNK Pro, and finally we have Castlevania Symphony of the Night Black Label. Case is pretty jacked up. It's got a huge crack on the back, but didn't have that one. Glad to have it now. So I have a few manuals and some cartridge-only games here that are either completing boxes I have, or they're like special versions. So let's go through those. So we have WWF No Mercy. This one was sold at the store, and then the guy brought it back saying it was freezing, and so I was able to find another copy for him through my buddy Nick, and then realized that I had the box and manual but no cartridge, and I don't really mind if it freezes in like some weird 2-player mode, because I'm never going to play that, so I'm just going to hold on to this one until I can get an upgrade. The manual is kind of rough, so I will upgrade it eventually. Then we have the Scooby-Doo N64 game, but this is the gray cartridge variant. I decided to try to hold on to some of the gray cart variants when I see them. Some of them are kind of expensive, a lot of them are really cheap, so I'll just build that little subset up as I can. Then also the Super Mario 64 not for resale, which was actually an eBay purchase, but when I bought it, there was a bunch of Sharpie on here, and it was like 15 bucks shipped or so. So when I got it, I started just rubbing the Sharpie off just with a cloth with no sort of cleaning solution or anything, and was able to get most of it off. I could kind of see it underneath the Sharpie when I got it, but when I bought it, I didn't know that it was the not for resale. I just bought it with the intent to sell it at the store, and then saw that and thought it was super awesome. Then also Genghis Khan 2, Clan of the Grey Wolf. I already have the box and possibly manual for this, just needed the cartridge, so holding on to that one. And then some other manuals here. We have the Back to the Future 3 and 2, or 2 and 3 for NES. Needed that to complete one that I have. Then WWF Warzone, that was like $1 at PRGE, that's to complete a game as well. And then also a manual and operations card for F-Zero X, which completes my copy. And then 2 other manuals which are for games that I don't have yet, but whenever I come across high-end manuals like this that I don't have, I usually just throw them in the closet and hold on to them, and if I ever get maybe like a box and cartridge of the game, I don't have to go on eBay and spend a bunch of money on a manual. I can just go through the ones in my closet and complete some stuff. So we have Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom, and then also the manual for Bucky O'Hare. So very cool to have stuff like that just laying around just in case. Let's go with the Sega Master System here. We got a little stack. These are all pretty cool titles to add to the collection. We have Ys, the Vanished Omens, and these are all complete. And we have Lord of the Sword, kind of a funny name. And then Rambo First Blood Part 2. And then Shinobi. Double Dragon. And then probably the best one, the original Phantasy Star. Super awesome. I don't ever add new Master System games to the collection, so it was very cool to be able to get those. I have one Sega Saturn game, so I might as well show that now. That is a complete copy of Dragon Force. Super awesome working designs game. It has the little foam piece. The manual is so thick. I think, well, the manual is kind of messed up. Like the pages were ripped out or something, but it's so thick that it actually doesn't close. So that's, kind of weird, but whatever. And then also have some Sega CD games, which is another system that I never get to add games to the collection for, so this is pretty cool. We have Soul Feast in this little cardboard sleeve here. Don't know if that was like some sort of pack-in or what, but kind of cool. Then we have The Amazing Spider-Man versus the Kingpin. And then we have Mortal Kombat, the first one. Then we have a Sega CD and 32X game here, Fahrenheit. And then Eternal Champions. Echo the Tides of Time, and also Echo the Dolphin. And then the best one is Android Assault. Very awesome to add some quality Sega CD games to the collection. What do we have left here? It looks like we have Atari 2600, Super Nintendo, NES, N64, and PS2 and GameCube. So I think we'll go through the Atari stuff now, because that's probably the least exciting. And there's actually quite a bit of it too. I gotta clear some room here. Got all this stuff stacked up. Alright, so, got this big box here of Atari stuff, so let's just push those Game Boy games out of the way. Alright, so these first couple were traded into the store. We have the keyboard controllers in the box, kind of cool, and then also Brain Games, and then the rest of these came from my buddy David when I bought his collection. So we have these look... I'm not really sure what is the deal with these boxes. I'm not a huge Atari 2600 historian or anything. Most of the Atari boxes I see are colored like this. They're green, orange, purple, you know, yellow, blue, whatever it is. But all of these ones here are silver and like a burgundy red, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure if these are like the original released versions, or if these are like a later release. I'm not sure. But the rest of these are all in excellent condition. So we have Gravatar and Solaris, or Solaris. Not sure how to pronounce it. Then we have Kangaroo, Junior Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, Dark Chambers, Super Football, and then Jungle Hunt, Pole Position, and Battle Zone, Defender 2, and Galaxian, Real Sports Football and Joust, Cubert and Radar Lock, Venture and Space Invaders, Mousetrap and Phoenix, Dig Dug and Othello, which is the only one that's in like a white, off-white colored box. And then the last two, Real Sports Baseball and Real Sports Volleyball. So, if you guys know what the deal with these is, let me know in the comments. Are they... I mean, they say for the Atari 2600 and 7800. A lot of them say that. So I would assume that they are later released box versions. But if you know, just leave a comment down below. Let me know. I'd be interested to see if there's anything more special or less special about these versus the other ones. So let me push this stuff out of the way. So let's go with PS2 next, and let me just warn you guys right now. PS2 section or selection that I have to show you guys is probably going to be the best quality out of any of the little system bundles that I have here. There's some good N64 and Super Nintendo stuff, but as far as quality goes, PS2 is probably the best here. So, in no particular order, this one just came into the store today. That's a sealed copy of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Then we have a sealed copy of Dance Dance Revolution X. I believe this was a Goodwill find. Then we have Robot Alchemic Drive, I think is how it's pronounced. Never heard of that game before. We have a sealed copy of Odin Sphere. Then a sealed copy of RTX Red Rock. That was part of David's collection. Then we have Death by Degrees. That one came into the store. Then Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. I can't believe I didn't have that game already. It's so much fun. Shin Megami Tensei Digital Devil Saga 2. Silent Hill Shattered Memories. Ring of Red. This was part of that 360 PS2 game lot that came into the store. Also Garfield Lasagna World Tour. Not the best title, but I've never seen this game before, so it can't be super common. Pacific Theater of Operations 4. A couple sealed games here. Ford Mustang The Legend Lives, and also Ford vs. Chevy. Both sealed. Nobunaga's Ambition Iron Triangle. I believe there's only 2 Nobunaga's Ambition games on PS2, and I already had the other one, so that should be both of them. Need for Speed Carbon Collector's Edition. Arc the Lad, End of Darkness. Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. I now have this for PS2 and original Xbox. Then we have the Resident Evil The Essentials collection, which has 3 games in this big box here. Super cool. Then Abby just got me this one for Christmas. That is a sealed Harvest Moon A Wonderful Life special edition. And then from Retro Game Trader, I picked up a factory-sealed Predator Concrete Jungle. They had it priced basically at the going rate for a complete copy. It was marked at $35, so for a sealed copy, I thought that was pretty cool. And then we have Unlimited Saga. And then a Japanese exclusive here. This was also from Pink Gorilla at PRGE. Some baseball game here. I can only assume it's a Japanese exclusive. Then we have Dark Cloud and Dark Cloud 2. Very awesome. And we have Grandia 2. Sky Gunner. And saving the worst for last, Marvel Ultimate Alliance Special Edition, which only came greatest hits. So, like I said, lots of awesome PS2 games there. Maybe PS1, quality-wise, is a little bit better, but some really, really awesome stuff in there. So let's go with NES next. I've been able to add a lot more NES games to my collection since the store opened, which has been very helpful because whenever I'm going out, to the other game stores or to thrift stores, never see them there, but whenever I'm going out game hunting, I never really look for NES games, and I like adding them to the collection. It's just, I would rather focus on like N64 or Super Nintendo, so I don't add these to the collection very often. So now that the store's open and they're being traded in, I'm able to get them that way, which has been very, very helpful. So first up, we have Shockwave, unlicensed game there. It's got some sticker residue on the top, so there's like hair sticking to it. Then we have Wheel of Fortune featuring Vanna White. I only had a sealed copy, so this one is my opened copy now. Tecmo Super Bowl. This one's box only, and the box has a huge dent on the front right there. But still, box only again. Mega Man 3, very worn. Then we have Star Tropics 2, Zoda's Revenge. Box only Double Dragon. Complete copy of Contra, pretty worn, but still complete. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Marble Madness. The Black Bass. We have an NES cleaning kit. Jack Nicklaus Greatest 18 Holes of Major Championship Golf. This feels like box and manual only. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. What? There's two of them, I guess. This box is much better than this one, so I'll just take the insides and put them in here. The remainder will go to the store. Box only, Little Mermaid, excuse me. Some of these are a little dusty feeling. They're making me gasp for air. And then Star Force. So very cool stuff, like the Contra, the Mega Man 3 box. Some of that stuff is very cool. A lot of filler titles, though, which is fine. Like I said, I don't get to add them to my collection very often. So we're going to go with Super Nintendo and then finish off with my favorite N64. So these ones are going to be in no particular order, of course. So first we have Arkanoid. And then Lamborghini American Challenge. Desert Strike Return to the Gulf. Michael Andretti's IndyCar Challenge. No cartridge in that one. I can feel it's pretty light. Beethoven The Ultimate Canine Caper. No cartridge. Street Combat, no cartridge. I think a lot of these came from from Retro Game Trader because they sell their boxes and manuals separately. We have Troy Aikman NFL Football. That one's complete. PGA Tour Golf, complete. Super High Impact, no cartridge on that one. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. NBA Live 95. Hardball 3. GP1 Part 2. I got this from PRGE for like $10, I think, which is a very good deal for that one. It's an Atlas title. It's not a RPG, but still pretty cool. Then we have Battle Clash. I believe I already have this one, but this is a condition upgrade because it still has the plastic on it. Of course, it's cut open at the end, but I like getting games like that as much as I can. Then we have Madden 95. Nice one here, Choplifter 3. Kind of hard to find. Oh, another manual, Tecmo Super Bowl 3. Needed that to complete a game. Then we have Dungeon Master. That one was traded into the store. And then we have Mickey's Ultimate Challenge. No manual or cardboard insert. And then finally, this is probably the best thing in this entire pickup video. A guy brought this into the store, and I'm pretty sure if you guys have been following the vlogs for at least a little bit now, you will have seen it before. But this is a complete near mint copy of Mega Man 7, which is super cool. The guy was the original owner. It's got a little scratch on the bottom right there, and then right here you can kind of see there's like a little ding in the box. Other than that, it's absolutely flawless, and this thing is super, super awesome. Very glad to have that in the collection. So now, we're going to move on to N64. I'm going to clear some of these Super Nintendo ones out here to make some room. There are quite a few N64 and some very hard-to-find titles that I picked up at PRGE. I'm nearing the end of the set, so I'm trying to get the harder ones out of the way. I still have a couple left that are going to be pretty tough to find because I'm trying to avoid going on eBay. Actually, I almost forgot the GameCube stuff. Let's do that before we move on to N64. Ugh. So, let's see here. These first 4 were Christmas gifts from my awesome girlfriend Abby. We have 1080 Avalanche. And then these next 3 are factory sealed. We have One Piece Pirates Carnival, a factory sealed copy of Odama. We had it sealed in the big box, but we didn't have like a standard copy, so she knows I like getting one of each. And then Harvest Moon Magical Melody, also sealed. Very, very cool. And then these 3 were, well, these next 2 were traded into the store. We have Spyro A Hero's Tale, and then a factory sealed copy of Mario Superstar Baseball. Pretty awesome. And then this one I bought from PRGE, that is Chaos Field. Ever since Metal Jesus put this in a Hidden Gems video, the price has just gone up, and people have asked for it at the store at least 5 times. So when I saw it at PRGE for a very, very reasonable price, I think it was like 20 bucks, I definitely had to pick that up for the collection. Then the last one was part of Sean's collection when he traded it into the store, and it is a factory sealed copy of Mario Party 7, which is super awesome. This thing is in pretty dang good shape. And it came in the big box here. The big box is opened. I already have the big box, so this is going back to the store. I just left it in here to protect this, so I'm keeping the sealed copy, of course. I'll put that back in here just so it doesn't get all scratched up or anything. I have to put it in one of those little protective sleeves still. So now moving on to N64. So this first one is one of 2 eBay purchases, I believe. So the first one is Big Mountain 2000. It's just the box only. If you have a manual and or cartridge for this, please let me know. And then the other eBay purchase is Mega Man 64 with the plastic still on it. And I was looking at one of these at PRGE, and they wanted like 75 or something, and I passed on it. When I went back to get it, it was gone. And then this one popped up on eBay. It was listed for $69 with free shipping or best offer. I offered 50 bucks thinking, you know, I wasn't really trying to get it, but they accepted it. So, with the plastic on it, I could not be happier. Box is not in the best shape, but it does have the plastic, so that's pretty cool. Then we have Ken Griffey Jr.'s Slugfest. And then NFL Quarterback Club 99 with the plastic still on it as well. And then NFL Quarterback Club 2001. This is actually factory sealed, but it's really not in great shape. Then we have, this was a Facebook group purchase, I believe, Vigilante 8 box and manual only, and also Vigilante 8 Second Offense box and manual only. They ended up costing me about 15 bucks each, which is pretty good. Then we have California Speed, Quake 2, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, box only. Turok Dinosaur Hunter Player's Choice version, box only. Then we have the RF Switch, box only. I think this is just a condition upgrade for me. And then Killer Instinct Gold, that one is also a condition upgrade. My other copy is in really, really bad shape. And then, saving some for the end here, we have Nuclear Strike 64, that was also from PRGE. And also Charlie Blast Territory, which is kind of tough to find. And then Jeremy McGrath Supercross 2000. This might have been the last game I needed in my collection last time, but this one's kind of sun-faded. But still, it was cheap. It was like $8. Then we have NFL Blitz 2000, also a little sun-faded, but it was also really cheap. Then a factory-sealed copy of Mia Hamm Soccer 64. Got this at PRGE for $20, which is not much more than a complete copy goes for, so I figured like for a couple bucks more I might as well get a sealed one. And it's in really, really good condition too. This is probably like worthy of getting graded. It's in, you know, pretty good shape. And then last four here are pretty special. We have Donald Duck Going Quackers, which is not easy to find. And then also Chameleon Twist 2, which I still need a manual for. If you have a manual for this, please let me know, but this one is not easy to find either. Then the final two here, we have StarCraft 64. This is box and manual only. The guy had the cartridge. This was at PRGE, but I decided to not buy the cartridge because he was overvaluing the cartridge, and he's like, if you just want the box and manual, I'll take out the price of a cartridge, and his price of a cartridge was $59.99, whereas mine is about $40. So I got like an extra $20 off, basically, if you want to think about it like that. And then lastly, my big purchase from PRGE. We still have a couple other things here, but this is the last game. That is a complete, very, very good condition copy of Worms Armageddon. And this was my #1 wanted game from PRGE, and I found it. Super happy. I did not see another copy there with the box. The other one I need is Transformers Beast Wars Transmetals, but the only one that I saw there didn't have a manual, and for the price that it was, I couldn't justify getting it without the manual. So if you have that game complete in box, or box and manual, or box only, or manual only, let me know. I'm definitely interested. So to finish off the video here, we have some N64 controllers. And so the first one here is the Atomic Purple, but this is the not for individual resale variant, and so this one came packed in with a system originally. So this is the only like box variant, unless you count like having the different characters here. Either the earlier or the later releases. This is the later release with Ken Griffey on there. So there's two different versions. There's this one, then there's one that looks like this. This is the earlier release with the Stormtrooper. I also got this one from PRGE from my buddy Josh Hamblin. I paid $150 for this, which is getting up there, but this is in really, really, really nice shape. It's fully complete with the baggie and the twist tie and all that, so couldn't pass that one up. And then finally, I actually got two of these from my buddy John from PRGE. He brought these to my table, and I paid him $200 for both. The one that I'm showing you here is the one that I'm keeping. I already had one, so I have two extras. Keeping the best condition one, of course, but the other two are up for trade. I need the Fire Orange and the Gold N64 controllers factory sealed, but that is the Grape Purple N64 controller sealed. Like I said, this is the one I'm keeping. It's in really, really nice shape. There's one little dent right here, but other than that, it's not dented up at all. So this is what I'm keeping. I have two more, like I said, that I'm hoping to trade for either the Gold or the Fire Orange that I'm missing. And I know that those go for more than this one, so I'd be willing to trade both of them straight across for the Fire Orange, or I would do one of them plus some cash or something else for the Gold one. So if you have them, let me know. I know it's a long shot, but guys, that's going to do it for this pickup video. I really hope you enjoyed. I know it was a super long video. My camera doesn't tell me how long it's been, but it's been quite some time, so I hope you enjoyed. Hope you had a good snack. And thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, smack the like button, leave a comment down below. Of course, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.